Everyone in our circle knows there's a young master the capital's top young lady loves but cannot have. She confessed to the young master 99 times and was rejected 99 times. The young master once declared that he would agree on the 100th time. But when the girl was preparing for her grand 100th confession, the young master could no longer say the words of rejection himself. When Bai Ningbing rushed over, she saw a body covered in blood, a young man with a knife stuck in his chest. I watched that familiar figure stumbling towards me. Tears streamed down uncontrollably. The woman trembled all over, gently pulling me into her embrace. Lin Feng, don't be scared. It'll take you home. I used all my strength to reach out to Bai Ningbing. I'm sorry, it's my fault. It's all my fault. As I spoke, blood kept pouring out of my mouth. Bai Ningbing desperately tried to wipe it for me, but couldn't stop it. Her voice was choked with sobs. Lin Feng, if you don't like me, I won't appear before you anymore. As long as you live well, I'll promise you anything. I raised my hand and gently caressed the corner of her eye. Sister Ningbing, if there's a next life, let it be my turn to love you. I will definitely love you so much. Bai Ningbing couldn't hold it in anymore and burst into tears. She knew she was about to lose me. She took my body back to Nanyuan. My spirit followed her all the way. The usually high and mighty female CEO, bit by bit, washed my body, changed me into my favorite Icon brand overalls, and even parted my hair in the middle. Finally, she put on a pure white wedding dress, took a dagger from the drawer, and lay down beside me, one hand holding mine tightly, the other hand, without any hesitation, plunged the dagger into her heart. Bai Ningbing chose to die in the exact same way as me. She smiled as tears streamed from the corners of her eyes. So this is how much my Lin Feng hurt at that moment. She slowly closed her eyes. I crouched on the ground, sobbing uncontrollably, crying so hard that my very soul trembled. 3 days later, Bai Ningbing's confidant buried us in the balloon flower garden at Nanyuan and held a grand funeral for us. My soul floated before our two graves, watching our friends cry silently one by one. Just as I approached the gravestone and reached out to touch the woman's picture, a powerful force pulled me into the photograph. I disappeared before I could even react. When I opened my eyes again, I found myself at home. I picked up my phone to check and discovered it was 2 months before my death. Have I been reborn? I hurriedly drove to the Bai Corporation. The receptionist was a little surprised to see me. They all knew that the young master of the Lin family was the moonlight in their CEO's heart. There's a rule in the Bai Corporation's employee handbook that I can freely enter and exit the Bai Corporation, and no one is allowed to stop me. He stood up and quickly walked over to me, respectfully saying, "Young Master Lin, are you here to see the CEO? The CEO is still in a meeting. How about you go up to the office and wait for a bit?" I smiled. I'll just go up and wait for her. Seeing me step into the CEO's private elevator, the receptionist quickly made an internal call to the secretary's office on the 69th floor, afraid that some clueless person might offend this little ancestor. When I stepped onto the 69th floor, Chief Secretary Zhang Yuqiao was already waiting at the elevator door. Before she could even say anything, I had already pushed open the door and entered the office. As soon as I entered, I saw a man sitting in Bai Ningbing's office chair, fiddling with something in his hands. I frowned slightly and saw clearly what he was holding. It was Bai Ningbing's wristwatch. I spoke up, annoyed. "Who are you? Why are you here?" Fang Yuan had been sizing me up since I walked in. A palm-sized face, firm muscles. No wonder Bai Ningbing is so infatuated. Thinking of this, Fang Yuan's expression immediately turned sinister, and he spoke arrogantly. "Bai Ningbing is my fiancé, so why do you think I'm here?" Fiancé? My face gradually turned pale, losing the excitement and smile I had when I first came in. Seeing my on-the-verge of collapse appearance, Fang Yuan was delighted inside and said in a haughty tone, "What? Young Master Lin didn't know? The Bai family is about to be joined with our Fang family by marriage. It's all because you, young Master Lin, spend all day chasing after that illegitimate daughter of the Su family. Everyone in our circle knows your good news is coming soon. Besides, didn't you already reject Bai Ningbing's pursuit, saying you'd only marry that illegitimate Su daughter in this life? Is young Master Lin's memory so poor? Now that Bai Ningbing and I are about to get engaged, it's best for young Master Lin not to covet another man's wife." "Fine." I stood frozen on the spot, not moving. Just then, the office door was pushed open from the outside. The woman, 1.6 meters tall, was wearing a designer dress. Her features were perfect. No man could look at her without being moved. "Bai Ningbing, is your meeting over? I've been waiting for you for a long time." Fang Yuan's sweet voice rang in my ears, like a completely different person from when he was talking to me. Bai Ningbing looked at the young man with his back to her. Even without him turning around, she knew it was me. But hearing how Fang Yuan addressed her, she frowned tightly. A voice devoid of warmth rang out. "What are you doing here?" I didn't turn my head, hearing her cold, distant words. I tried my best to suppress my emotions. Fang Yuan's words kept replaying in my head. Remembering how Bai Ningbing had died for me in my past life, my tears burst forth, streaming down endlessly. I lowered my head and quickly walked out, so fast that Bai Ningbing didn't even have time to react. I was already in the elevator. She watched my retreating back, her deep eyes filled with a lonely look, and her heart suddenly ached. I always wear my heart on my sleeve, so even though she couldn't see my face, she knew I had misunderstood. But those words were meant for Fang Yuan. Bai Ningbing looked up at the man still standing in her office. A cold glint flashed in her eyes. Young Master Fang, my company and yours only have a cooperative relationship, and I'm not that close with you. It's better if young Master Fang, like everyone else, just calls me CO Bai. Fang Yuan smoothed his hair and smiled brightly, completely unfazed by Bai Ningbing's attitude towards him. On the contrary, he was very happy because Bai Ningbing had never spoken such a long sentence to him. His voice was cloying. Ningbing, you know our Fang family intends for us to marry. I like you a lot. Wouldn't it be great for our two families to form a powerful alliance? Bai Ningbing exuded a cold aura, her scrutinizing gaze fixed on him. Fang Yuan, your Fang family isn't qualified to interfere in my marriage. What did you just say to Lin Feng? Even if you don't tell me, I can guess. Surely young Master Fang knows that he is my Bai Ningbing's bottom line? Since young Master Fang has the guts to speak recklessly to my person, you must also have the ability to make the Fang family's business flourish even more. If the Fang family doesn't want to cooperate, then let's forget it. Zhang Yuqiao at the door heard the commotion and pushed the door open to enter. Young Master Fang, please leave. Fang Yuan glared at Zhang. Yuqiao stomped his foot hard and left. Zhang Yuqiao walked over to Bai Ningbing's side and handed over the tablet in her hand. Bai Ningbing took it and silently stared at the surveillance video of the office from just now. Zhang Yuqiao spoke up. CO, I've already given instructions. From now on, besides young Master Lin, no one else is allowed to enter your office without permission. Bai Ningbing placed the tablet on her desk, picked up the limited edition watch on the table, and threw it into the trash can. She went into the lounge to wash her hands, then she took her car keys from the drawer and said to Zhang Yuqiao in a low voice, the staff in the secretary's office will have their bonuses docked for half a year. Also, replace all the furniture in my office. Yes. Zhang Yuqiao shook her head and muttered under her breath, they just had to offend this little ancestor. I'm afraid the Fang family's days are numbered. Bai Ningbing sat in her car, and the phone rang. Chen Wanwan's teasing voice came through. Hello? Lin Feng went to find you. Did you see him? Bai Ningbing gently massaged her forehead, her hoarse voice revealing a sense of helplessness. I did. He left before I could say anything. Chen Wanwan was lying on the sofa in her office, and hearing Bai Ningbing's words, she reflexively sat up. He left? When he said he wanted to see you, that happy look on his face was so shameless. Why did he leave? A glimmer of joy flashed in Bai Ningbing's eyes. There was a small misunderstanding. After hanging up the phone, Bai Ningbing recalled the time I confessed to her. I had said, Bai Ningbing, I already told you I don't like you. Why are you so annoying? The person I like is Su Dao, and I will only marry her. Thinking of my tone back then, my attitude, Bai Ningbing's chest ached fiercely. Lin Feng, what should I do for you to love me just a little? Just a little bit. If I were there right now, I would definitely rush over and hug Bai Ningbing tightly and tell her that I've come to love her. In the evening, at Lanye, the largest bar in the capital, the figure of a handsome young man at the bar was too eye-catching. The young man's face was slightly flushed, full of youthful charm. Even though the young ladies from other families were itching to, they didn't dare to make a move. Lanye is the territory of the Wen family's eldest young lady, Wen Yifan. Everyone knows him the darling of the four great families. Messing with me, I'm afraid even 9 lives wouldn't be enough to pay, but there are always those who think they've lived too long. I sipped the drink in my hand. In the distance, a woman in a dress with long, dyed blonde hair staggered towards me with a bottle of wine. She had been staring at me all night, seeing that I was alone and drunk. She couldn't resist approaching. The woman slammed the bottle down in front of me and said in a casual tone, Hey, handsome, this young lady has her eye on you. Come with me tonight, and I guarantee you can walk sideways in this capital from now on. I glanced at the newcomer, tilted my head back, and downed my drink, then lazily said one thing, only crabs walk sideways. After saying that, I leaned back against the chair. The woman wasn't angry at my words and said in a loud, arrogant voice, Do you know who this young lady is? I am the second young lady of the Wang family, Wang Kui Hua. Being with me, your ancestors' graves must be smoking with good fortune. Wang Kui Hua was an uneducated good-for-nothing who usually just liked to fool around with handsome boys. Because the Wang family had some underlying power, people from smaller families didn't dare to offend her. As for people from the 4 great families, with the Wang family's status, she couldn't normally get close to them, and I rarely appeared in places like this. She was completely drunk and didn't recognize who was in front of her. She only knew that she had to have this man tonight. The bar manager saw the situation wasn't right and hurried over, thinking to himself, Does this Wang Kui Hua have a death wish? Is this little ancestor someone they can speak to recklessly? Miss Wang, you're drunk. This young master is not someone you can afford to offend. If you're looking for company, I'll have someone arrange it for you right away, bar manager said with a smile. He didn't dare to offend either side. After all, he had heard of the Wang family's reputation. Mr. and Mrs. Wang spoiled this second young lady to the heavens. She once went after a B-list actor and got away with it completely. The person behind her must have some influence. Wang Kuihua raised her hand and pushed away the person blocking me, cursing under her breath. Who the hell are you? You dare to interfere in this young lady's business? Today, no matter which family's young master you are, this young lady wants you. After speaking, she reached out to grab me, but before she could touch the young man's clothes, her wrist was caught in a powerful grip, instantly immobilizing her. Ah, it hurts. It hurts so much. Who are you? How dare you grab me and ruin my fun? This young lady will make you suffer the consequences. A group of young ladies watching the show saw who had arrived and hurriedly came forward in fear. Siobai, Wang Chuihua is drunk. Please, Siobai, be lenient. They all knew that in the capital, I was the kind of existence that no one ever dared to provoke. They hadn't stepped forward earlier because they wanted to watch the show to see if Wang Kuihua could get her hands on this young master of the Lin family. After all, the Wang family's background was not to be underestimated. Who would have thought Bai Ningbing would suddenly appear? They were startled and hurriedly came forward, bowing and scraping, afraid this fire would spread, and they would also get into trouble. Bai Ningbing forcefully flung the person in her hand away. A poison-like coldness dripped from her throat. Scram! She turned to look at me, leaning back in the chair with my eyes half closed, my face flushed red. One look and you could tell I was drunk. Bai Ningbing stood beside me, watching me for a moment, then bent down closer. As she raised her hand to touch my cheek, she stopped. The words of my rejections kept replaying in her head. She sighed helplessly. Just as she was about to pull her hand back, a slender hand took hold of hers. She looked into the young man's slightly open eyes, and her whole body froze. I tugged on her sleeve, my eyes glistening with unshed tears. Are you getting married? Bai Ningbing stared at me blankly. Complex emotions swirled in the depths of her eyes. She raised her hand and gently caressed my cheek, speaking softly. You believe whatever others say casually, but you don't believe anything I say. Seeing that I was no longer resisting her like before, she leaned down to coax me. You're drunk. I'll take you home, okay? As she leaned down, my hands went around her neck. Bai Ningbing's thoughts suddenly became chaotic. Her heart pounded uncontrollably. Her breath almost stopped. I whispered gently in her ear, Go home? To your home? Bai Ningbing's back stiffened slightly. The corners of her mouth lifted slightly, revealing a charming and gentle smile. If you want to go, I'll take you. I smiled. The dimples on my cheeks quivered slightly. I leaned against Bai Ningbing's chest, listening to her heartbeat, and felt a strange sense of peace. Bai Ningbing took out her phone and made a call. She said a few quiet words, then hung up, her movements gently lifting me up, and quickly walked out. Half an hour later, the car drove steadily into Haiwan, the largest villa district in the capital. In front of the villa, a classic and exquisite plaque read Nan Yuan. Bai Ningbing carefully carried me out of the car, pushed open the room door, and gently placed me on the large bed, covering me with the blanket. I was sound asleep, my breathing even and steady. Bai Ningbing watched me quietly for more than 10 minutes. After tucking me in, she got up and walked towards the bathroom. The moment she turned around, I, who was supposed to be asleep, opened my eyes slightly. My eyes were clear, not at all like someone who had just woken up. I had indeed fallen asleep in the car just now, but when Bai Ningbing carried me upstairs, I had already woken up. I just didn't know what to say to her, so I had to keep my eyes closed and pretend to be asleep. I couldn't believe she would sit by the bed for so long. I was about to give up the act. Thankfully, she left. Thinking of this, I breathed a sigh of relief. Hearing the sound of running water from the bathroom, my thoughts returned to the moment Bai Ningbing died for me. That death without a hint of hesitation, the look in her eyes full of love as she gazed at my breathless body. She was so good to me. Why did I have to wait until after I died to realize it? Thinking of how Bai Ningbing planted 10 miles of balloon flowers for me, the corners of my eyes turned red, tears welled up in my eyes. Just then, the bathroom door opened, and Bai Ningbing walked out. Seeing the young man with teary eyes, a pang of pain shot through her heart. She stood still at the bathroom door, not daring to approach. I was a little stunned by her sudden appearance, and when I came to my senses, I realized I had been staring at her. My face immediately flushed from my cheeks to my ears. I had to admit, this woman was not only beautiful with a good family background, but her figure was also impeccable. I subconsciously reached out and waved at the woman. Bai Ningbing, as if in a daze, took small steps towards me. The woman, carrying a scent of steam, approached me. I blushed and buried my face slightly in the pillow. You still haven't answered the question I asked you at the bar. Bai Ningbing was momentarily stunned, and after a moment of silence, she said with a faint smile, What kind of answer do you want to hear? I looked up at her teasing expression and said sadly, That young master of the Fang family said he's your fiancé. If you two are getting married, why did you bring me home? Bai Ningbing was truly amused by the handsome, seemingly aggrieved young man in front of her. I was the one who was always resisting her advances. She had confessed to me several times, only to be cruelly rejected by me. She wasn't the one feeling aggrieved yet, but based on a few unverified words from an outsider, I was the one feeling wronged. She sighed softly and spoke helplessly. Knowing that I'm getting married, are you that sad? Didn't you say you don't like me and hope I'd stay away from your life? If so, isn't my marriage a good thing for you? Hearing these words, I quickly sat up and grabbed the hem of the woman's clothes, speaking with a sob in my voice. It's not like that. I hesitated. My heart felt like it was being gripped by an invisible claw. I couldn't calm down. Bai Ningbing didn't speak. She looked at me, an indelible affection rippling in her eyes. I looked straight into her eyes. I know I was capricious before, listening to others' instigation, and I said a lot of harsh things to you. We grew up together since we were little. To me, you've always been like an older sister. I never thought you would like me. Besides, these past few years, after you took over the Bay Corporation, you got busier and busier, and we saw each other less and less. Everyone said you were ruthless and cruel, that many companies that offended you were forced to withdraw from the capital. I looked up at her and saw she had no reaction, so I continued. Later, because of Ye, I met Sudayo. She was very concerned about me and was often by my side. That's how I gradually developed feelings for her. They often spoke ill of you in my ear, plus Yiga said he liked you. I hope I can give him a chance to confess to you. Over time, I thought you were the one he liked, so I rejected you. Bai Ningbing was almost driven mad by this handsome kid who thought he was so clever. She stood up and walked out of the room. I watched her walk out, and the tears in my eyes could no longer be held back, streaming down onto the blanket. When Bai Ningbing returned with a glass of milk, she saw me with my head down, sobbing. Her heart ached instantly. She gripped the glass in her hand tightly, walked to the bedside, and handed it to me. I looked up, sobbing as I looked at the woman. Bai Ningbing pulled out a tissue and carefully wiped away my tears. You've been talking for so long, you must be thirsty, right? Drink some milk first. I took the glass of milk and took a small sip. My voice was a little choked up. I saw them last time at the beach. Now I know they were all using me. I was the one who didn't listen. Everyone clearly told me so many times, but I just wouldn't listen. Until they pushed me into the sea, I was really scared then. If you hadn't sent people to protect me, I probably would have died in the sea. Bai Ningbing listened to me quietly, a ruthless look flashing in her eyes. I tilted my head to look at the woman sitting by the bed and gently touched her pinky finger. My voice was soft. Sister Bai Ningbing. Bai Ningbing's body stiffened, her eyes revealing an undisguised joy. She turned her head to look at me, her gaze gradually growing intense. I spoke very seriously and clearly. Sister Ningbing, I'm sorry I said so many things that hurt you. I know I was wrong. I know you like me a lot. From now on, I'll learn to like you too, okay? Bai Ningbing's pupils constricted, her heart pounded, and a look of disbelief appeared on her face. She was about to lose control. After a long while, she spoke hoarsely. Lin Feng, if you're just looking for someone to comfort your troubled heart, I can be with you, but don't say things like that to me. She stood up, took 2 steps towards the door, then suddenly stopped and said, because I'll take it as the truth. Get some rest. The door closed. Bai Ningbing leaned against the wall outside the door, looked up and whispered, Lin Feng, if you said you want to learn to like me, then I will never let you go, not even in death. I stared at the closed door, biting my lip. Bai Ningbing, I will definitely not let you down in this life. Bai Ningbing lay on the bed in the living room, her deep eyes as quiet as the night. Thinking of how I looked when I was talking earlier, sincere and serious, her heart filled with anticipation. She picked up her phone from the bedside table, and after sending a message, turned off the bedside lamp and slowly drifted off to sleep. Early morning, on a mountainside in November, the air was a bit chilly. The master bedroom door was gently pushed open. The person on the bed was still fast asleep. My sleeping form was like a beautiful painting. Just looking at me like this was enough to make Bai Ningbing hopelessly captivated. She went into the bathroom to freshen up and prepared all the necessities for me for when I woke up. Then she went downstairs to prepare breakfast. She likes peace and quiet and doesn't like to be disturbed in her daily life. So, in the villa, besides the butler who would bring people to clean periodically, no outsiders would appear at other times without permission. 30 minutes later, the dining room was filled with the aroma of seafood congee. I drank a lot of alcohol last night, plus the weather was chilly, so I needed something warm to eat when I woke up. In the bedroom, I slowly opened my eyes, got up, and pushed open the bathroom door, only to see that a cup of mouthwash had been prepared, with warm water and toothpaste already squeezed out. I looked at the items prepared on the sink. The facial cleanser, toothpaste, and toothbrush were all brands I usually use. Even the face towel was the same kind I use at home. A warm current instantly flowed through my heart. After freshening up, I quickly went downstairs. I saw Bai Ningbing carrying a bowl of seafood congee that was still steaming, her face slightly flushed. Sister Ningbing, good morning. Sit down and have breakfast. I didn't stand on ceremony and sat down to eat in small bites. I knew Bai Ningbing's habits, and there were no other maids in the villa, so she must have cooked this congee herself. Thinking of this, the corners of my mouth curled up. Bai Ningbing saw my smile, her deep eyes filled with adoration. Seeing that I was almost finished eating, she put down the coffee cup in her hand. Are you done eating? If you're done, go upstairs and pack up a bit. I'll take you home. I looked up at her, a hint of disappointment in my eyes. I said nothing, just looked at her quietly. Bai Ningbing pulled out a tissue, wiped the corner of my mouth, and gently coaxed me. I have to go to the company. You didn't come home last night, and even though I told your sister, if you stay out overnight, your aunt and uncle will worry. If you want to come over another day, I'll come pick you up, okay? Seeing that she wasn't trying to chase me away, I pursed my lips and smiled. I nodded gently. Nanyuan isn't too far from the Lin family home. It's only about a 30-minute drive. After dropping me off at the Lin family home, Bai Ningbing didn't immediately unlock the car door. She tilted her head to look at the boy who was unbuckling his seatbelt, and her low voice sounded, Lin Feng, about what you said yesterday. Whether you were sincere or not, I've already taken it as the truth. If you've chosen to be with me, whether you like me or not, I will never let you leave me again. I didn't say anything, just leaned in close to her cheek and spoke in a soft voice. Sister Ningbing, everything I said last night was from the heart. I will definitely come to like you, just as you like me. After saying that, before the woman could react, I gently planted a kiss on her cheek. Then I turned and ran off. Bai Ningbing was stunned, her eyes filled with joyful surprise. By the time she came to her senses, she only saw my back as I entered the house. She reached up to touch the spot I had kissed, and a low chuckle rumbled from deep in her throat. Mom, I'm home, I called out as I took off my shoes, my face still flushed. On the stairs, a man and a woman were coming down hand in hand. The Lin family members were all very tall. Even though they were over 50, the man still looked imposing. The woman was noble and elegant and very well maintained. My dear son, have you had breakfast? My heart was indescribably warm. Looking at my parents' loving appearance and recalling the series of foolish things I did in my past life, I just wanted to slap myself twice. I've eaten. Sister Ningbing made it for me. I went to sit next to my mom, resting my head on her shoulder. Yexi stroked my head and said gently, Are you unhappy? Did you throw a tantrum at Bai Ningbing? As she spoke, she looked at my father, Lion Botian, signaling for him to ask. They both knew their son's temperament and didn't dare to ask too directly. My father turned his head and sighed. My dear son, your second sister came home last night and said you were staying at Nanyuan. Did Bai Ningbing bully you? Tell Dad, and he'll have your eldest sister go beat her up. I looked at my parents' worried faces and almost burst out laughing. Don't you all understand, Sister Ningbing? How could she possibly bully me? I was thinking, Dad and Mom's relationship is so good. It's so blissful. As a child, I was too sheltered by my family. Any sign of someone with bad intentions around me would be extinguished immediately. If I hadn't been reborn, I probably would never have gotten involved in these dark matters. I looked up. My large, teary eyes looked at my parents, and I spoke seriously. Dad, Mom, I'm sorry. I was willful before. I didn't listen to you all, and easily trusted outsiders. It was only after falling into the water that I learned the best friend I thought I had and the woman I liked were always just using me. What they were after wasn't me, but my status as the young master of the Lion family. The couple looked at each other, looking at their son with pained expressions. But they knew, once their son had made up his mind about something, not even 9 tigers could pull him back. They had to wait for me to realize the truth about me and Su Yao on my own. It's not that they didn't know, they didn't mind the petty troubles before, but this time it involved my life. They couldn't just sit by and do nothing. Yesterday, Dad ordered all the Lin family's bodyguards and assassins, telling them to teach Su Yao a lesson. But they were informed that Bai Ningbing's people had already acted. Lin Feng, from childhood until now, no matter what, as long as it was something you wanted to do, your mother and I have always indulged you, whether it's studies, life, or relationships. But I have to tell you, Bai Ningbing is a rare, good woman. The Bai family and our Lin family have been friends for generations. If your other half in the future is Bai Ningbing, then your mother and I can rest assured. Bai Ningbing has the ability to protect you, plus, her love for you is clear for all to see. If you marry her in the future, you will definitely be happy. Since she was young, Bai Ningbing never hid her love for me. Everyone around us also witnessed bit by bit how Bai Ningbing loved without reciprocation. There wasn't a single person who didn't pity her. Seeing that I had finally come to my senses, Dad stood up and walked in front of me, pinching my cheek like he did when I was a child. He said gently, I'm off to the company. You and your mother be good at home. Go shopping if you have free time. Buy whatever you like. Watching Dad leave, I threw myself into Mom's arms, my soft voice sounding out. Dad really loves you, Mom. I really admire that. I've admired it since I was a child. So much so that when Su Yao and Ye Ge were nice to me, I fell for it completely. Mom hugged me and said with a happy expression, You can have that too. Bai Ningbing is very good. Her love for you is no less than the love between me and your father, my dear. I hope you can hold on to the happiness in front of you and don't let it slip away again. I went back to my room to shower, changed into a white shirt, stood in front of the sink, and looked at myself in the mirror, whispering, Bai Ningbing, tell me, was I blind? Everyone could see that you liked me, yet I just kept hurting you. I dried my hair and lay down on the bed. I drank a lot last night and went to bed late. Mood was unstable when I woke up, and now I felt completely drained. Sleepiness washed over me, and I fell into a deep sleep. Meanwhile, at the Bai Corporation, Bai Ningbing pushed open her office door and saw Wen Yifan lazily lying on the office sofa with her feet propped up on the coffee table, looking carefree. CO Bai, the workaholic, is late today. Bai Ningbing walked over and kicked her feet off the coffee table. Acting so freely in my place, you want to be thrown from the 69th floor? With that, she went to her desk and sat down. The furniture in the office had been completely replaced. Zhang Yuqiao walked in with a contract, placed it on the desk, and said, CEO Bai, there's a lunch meeting with the CEO of Ruilin Corporation this afternoon. At 3 p.m., the person in charge of Yanhai International Plaza will come to report on the situation of the stores in the shopping center in the evening. She was cut off before she could finish. You go to the cocktail party tonight in my place. Bai Ningbing looked down at the document in her hand, signed it, and handed the contract to her. Yes, Mom. Zhang Yuqiao knew that Bai Ningbing never liked to attend commercial cocktail parties and would only go herself if it was unavoidable. Wen Yifan looked at her cold-faced friend, who had an outstanding aura, and felt that there was something indescribably strange about her today. She leaned in closer and said in a teasing tone, Hey, why do I feel like you're not your usual self today? Fess up. Is it true what they say? That good news with the young master of the Fang family, Fang Yuan, is on the horizon? Bai Ningbing's gaze was as sharp as a knife, as if wanting to stab to death the person in front of her, who couldn't say anything nice. If you want to die, I can give you a send-off. No need to stay here and make me sick. Hearing her cold voice, Wen Yifan chuckled teasingly. True, a man whose whole face is a patchwork. How can he compare to our little puppy, Lin Feng? Hearing the name she yearned for day and night, the chill around Bai Ningbing dissipated, replaced by a wave of warmth. Wen Yifan watched her emotional shift, shook her head, and thought to herself that her friend was truly done for in this lifetime. She suddenly became serious, pulled up a chair, sat down, and spoke in a low voice. By the way, what are you going to do about the Wang family? That bitch, Wang Kuihua, usually causes petty trouble, which I ignore. But now she's trying to lay a hand on Lin Feng. How can I tolerate that? Lanye is Wen Yifan's territory, and she usually doesn't care about the rich kids causing trouble in her bar, but that doesn't mean they can touch her people. Bai Ningbing didn't look up. Her sharp voice rang out. It's time for the Wang family to end. Wen Yifan knew she was angry and that she didn't deal with that person directly last night, probably out of respect for my presence, making it inconvenient to act directly. In that case, there's nothing else. I'm leaving. Meanwhile, at the Wang residence, broken glass was everywhere. Mr. Wang had received a call from the company early in the morning saying that several major recent contracts had been cancelled one after another. They would rather pay the breach of contract penalty than work with them. The stock plummeted. He called several well-connected people, and the result was always that the Bai family had made a move. Whoever dared to work with the Wang family would be going against the Bai family. The Bai family isn't just the biggest clan in the capital. The four great families are the leaders in every industry. Many businesses have to rely on the cooperation of the four great families to survive. No one dared to go against the Bai family, or it would be a dead end. Mr. Wang went to the Bai Corporation and waited all morning to see Bai Ningbing. Zhang Yuqiao appeared, but her words were like a thunderbolt. CO Wang, perhaps you should go home and ask what your second young miss has done. Mr. Wang left in a rage, ordering the driver to rush home at top speed. As soon as he entered the house, Mrs. Wang was sitting on the sofa, admiring a set of jewelry just delivered from the mall. Seeing her husband's anger, she was startled. She quickly stood up. Honey, what's wrong? Mr. Wang took the teacup offered by a servant and smashed it on the ground. His face was pale, remembering Zhang Yuqiao's words. His eyes immediately widened with fury, and he roared toward the upper floor. Wang Kuihua, get down here right now! A moment later, Wang Kuihua came downstairs looking like she just woke up. Annoyed at being woken up, she said impatiently, Dad, what are you doing so early in the morning? I am dead tired. Mr. Wang couldn't hold back and strode forward, slapping Wang Kuihua hard across the face. What stupid thing did you do? To go and offend that ancestor from the Bai family? Now the company's stock has plummeted. Many partners would rather pay the penalty than continue working with us. The company's cash flow is about to be cut off. It's hard to say if we'll even make it through this. Wang Kuihua looked at her father slumped on the sofa and her worried mother and recalled what happened at the bar last night. It wasn't that she didn't remember last night, she just couldn't remember who the person was. She picked up her phone and called the person she was drinking with last night. Hello, do you know the person from the bar last night? It's unknown what the person on the other end said, but Wang Kuihua's hand holding the phone went limp, and she looked in horror at her father, who seemed to have aged several years in an instant. The voice on the other end of the line was not quiet. Everyone heard it. Mrs. Wang usually didn't interact with the four great families, but she knew that offending the young ladies of the four great families still left some room for survival. But if the person offended was young Master Lin Feng of the Lin family, the consequences were truly not something they could bear. It's over. It's all over. The Wang Corporation can't be saved. Mr. Wang lowered his head. He had also just heard that his prodigal daughter had provoked the precious jewel of the Lin family. Not being tortured to death on the spot by that person from the Bai family was already lucky. In business, he was always cautious and never left any weaknesses in the hands of others. The bankruptcy of the Wang Corporation could be considered as having saved his daughter's life. 2.5 hours later, I happily read the news notification on my phone. The Wang Corporation has gone bankrupt. The Wang Corporation has been acquired by the Bai Corporation. I knew this was Bai Ningbing venting my anger for me. I opened my phone and sent a message to Bai Ningbing. Ding. The 21st floor meeting room of the Bai Corporation. Everyone's hearts were in their throats. Who wasn't afraid of death in the Great Demon King's meeting, whose phone wasn't on silent? Bai Ningbing glanced coldly at those present as her assistant's stiff voice sounded in her ear. CEO, it's a message on your phone. This was Bai Ningbing's personal phone, and usually, people who messaged her personal phone had nothing to do with work. She expressionlessly pulled her phone from her pocket, and after seeing the incoming message, a smile flashed in her eyes. Sister Ningbing, are you busy? Do you have time for dinner together tonight? She put down her phone and said, I'm giving you all 2 days to submit a useful proposal, otherwise all of you can get lost. The Bai Corporation doesn't support useless people. After speaking, she stood up and left. Bai Ningbing returned to her office, staring at the message on her phone as if she could see the person on the other end through the screen. Just as she was about to reply, the screen lit up again. If you're busy, that's okay too. Another day is fine. She suddenly froze and quickly replied to the message, afraid the other person would change their mind. I'm not busy. Tonight is fine. What do you want to eat? I'll have someone make a reservation. I was sitting on the swing chair on my room's balcony, looking at the sunflowers in the garden, waiting for a reply on my phone. The screen suddenly lit up. I picked up my phone and smiled happily. I want to eat at Jiangnangi. Jiangnanji is also an enterprise under Wen Yifan's name. 90% of the Su family's culinary business is related to him. Bai Ningbing called Zhang Yu Jiao over. Go to Jiangnangi and book a private room. Tonight, Lin Feng and I will have dinner together. Tell them to prepare a few dishes that Lin Feng likes. At this moment, I was looking gloomy, looking at the 50-square-meter changing room, my first private date with Bai Ningbing. What should I wear? I stayed in the changing room for half an hour and finally chose a youthful-looking white shirt. After getting ready, I went downstairs with a small crossbody bag. On the other side, Bai Ningbing had been engrossed in work for 2.5 hours and finally finished all the contracts on her desk. She looked at the time on her computer, then stood up and left. When she arrived at Jiangnangi, I was already sitting in the private room she had booked, drinking fruit juice. The door was pushed open. I looked up to see who had come, a smile forming on my lips. Sister Ningbing, you're late? Bai Ningbing walked over and sat down next to me. Sorry, there was traffic on the way. Why didn't you eat something first? Next time if I'm late, just eat first. Don't wait for me. After saying that, she pressed the service bell in the room. The waiters brought out the dishes I liked one by one. Throughout the meal, Bai Ningbing fed me, taking care of me very attentively. After eating, I leaned back in my chair and rubbed my small belly, mumbling that I was so full, it was so delicious. Bai Ningbing let out a soft laugh, her eyes filled with adoration. Don't eat so much that you're too full. You'll feel uncomfortable later. It's because it was so delicious. I couldn't help but have a couple more bites. My soft voice reached the woman's ears, making her heart melt. After the meal, Bai Ningbing was worried I'd feel sick from eating too much, so she didn't drive back, but took me for a walk nearby. The two of us walked side by side on the bustling city street. Suddenly, I stopped walking and looked at Bai Ningbing, who was wearing a black dress. What's wrong? Bai Ningbing was a little confused. She didn't know what I was thinking about her at that moment, so she didn't dare to get too close. For fear of upsetting me, I pouted and said, a little unhappily, Bai Ningbing, are we considered to be on a date? Hearing this, she was stunned for a moment, then nodded seriously. Seeing her reaction, I got even angrier and said with a cold huff, Then, have you seen what other couples do when they go out for a stroll? Bai Ningbing looked around, a little confused. Lin Feng, this is my first time eating out alone with you. I've never had a boyfriend before either. I don't know what to prepare for a date with a boy. Where did I go wrong? Can you tell me? I reached out and patted her head. You silly girl. Ningbing, you're so silly. People hold hands when they're on a date. There are so many people and cars on the street, and I'm so handsome. If you don't hold my hand, aren't you afraid I'll get lost? I took the initiative to hold Bai Ningbing's small hand and said very seriously, Sister Ningbing, when I said I would like you, I wasn't just saying it. I know you're afraid of making me unhappy, so you're always so careful. It's not that I can't see it. Actually, you were really looking forward to and very happy with our date tonight. It was me who was insensible before and did too many unreasonable things. I won't be like that anymore, Sister Ningbing. Your love for me, I will slowly accept it. You don't have to be so careful in front of me. I won't get mad at you. Bai Ningbing looked at me like this, her heart aching a little. Her boy didn't need to change anything. She accepted him for better or worse. She said nothing, just held my hand tightly like that. The two of them walked for a long time, until I said I was tired. Then she called the driver. When the car stopped at the main gate of the Lin family home, I didn't make a move. Ever since getting in the car, I hadn't said a word. Bai Ningbing felt a little uneasy, but she didn't dare to ask. She was afraid the answer wouldn't be what she wanted. After a long time, she gently said to me as I stared out the window, "Lin Feng, we're here." I turned my head and kissed Bai Ningbing on the lips, then pushed open the car door and quickly walked towards the villa. Bai Ningbing was completely stunned, her mind blank until the driver called her twice. She finally snapped out of it. When she returned to Nanyuan, while Bai Ningbing was showering, she recalled the scene of me kissing her in the car. Her gaze momentarily grew deep, then she turned the shower knob towards the blue side in the exclusive private room of Lan Ye. Chen Wanwan pushed the door open and entered. Other than Bai Ningbing and me, everyone else was present. "Oh, what's this situation? Our Zhang Hao is here too." Zhang Hao's eyes curved into crescents, and he greeted her sweetly. "Sister Wanwan." Wen Xiaoer sat next to Zhang Hao and raised his eyebrows at Chen Wanwan. "Sister Wanwan, sit over here. What took you so long? Didn't Lin Feng come with you?" Chen Wanwan walked over and sat down next to Wen Xiaoer. She picked up the wine glass on the table, poured a glass of wine, and tilted her head back to take a sip. "I came from the company. I didn't go home, but I heard my mom say he went on a date." Wen Xiaoer's eyes widened. With a gossipy expression, he leaned closer to Chen Wanwan. "Did your mom say who he went on a date with? Just yesterday he said he didn't like that bitch Su Yao, and today he's already on a date." This scene fell into the eyes of his biological sister, Wen Yifan, who was beside them. It looked incredibly jarring. Wen Yifan reached out and straightened him up, with an unhappy expression. "If you're going to talk, just talk. Why are you leaning so close to Wan Wan?" Wen Xiaoer glared at his sister and sneered, whispering, "Getting jealous even of your own brother. And you still say you don't like her?" Although his voice wasn't loud, everyone present heard it clearly. Chen Wanwan looked helpless, but her eyes held a hint of affection. She flicked Wen Xiaoer on the forehead. "You could be a little louder, you know." They all knew Chen Wanwan was a lesbian and had even managed to turn Wen Yifan, but Wen Yifan was stubborn and wouldn't admit it even if it killed her. "See?" Wen Yifan looked annoyed. She raised her wine glass and downed it in one go, then stood up and walked out. She pushed the door open and almost bumped into Bai Ningbing, who was about to enter. The former glared at the latter, then quickly left, making everyone in the room burst into laughter. Bai Ningbing sat on the single sofa, looked at the scene in the room, and said with a chuckle, "Who angered her? Such a temper. What did she mean by glaring at me, Sister Ningbing? She's jealous, ha ha ha." When Xiaoer leaned back on the sofa, clutching his stomach, roaring with laughter, Chen Wanwan shook her head helplessly. You just love to stir up trouble." After saying that, she finished the wine in her glass and also left the private room. Outside the bar's women's restroom, when Yifan came out of the restroom with her head down, a low voice was heard. "Are you angry? Jealous of your own brother?" Chen Wanwan looked at her and said with certainty, when Yifan turned her head to look at the woman who was speaking. Knowing she had waited here for her on purpose, she denied it expressionlessly. "He's my brother. What's there to be jealous of? Besides, if he likes you, wouldn't that be great? We all grew up together. If he married you, my dad would definitely be at ease." She heard Wen Yifan's indifferent reply, and the anger in her heart suddenly flared up. She quickly grabbed the wrist of the woman in front of her and pulled her into a restroom stall. The woman leaned close to her face, her hoarse voice suppressing her anger. "I really want to see if this mouth of yours is really that tough." In fact, she did just that. Before Wen Yifan could even react, she had already lowered her head. She couldn't remember when Chen Wanwan had discovered her unusual feelings. For Wen Yifan, at first, she was also shocked by her own thoughts, but she didn't run away from her inner feelings. She just always kept it hidden in her heart. She felt that as long as she could be by Wen Yifan's side, it was enough. Until college, when Wen Yifan said she had a boyfriend, she began to panic. When Wen Yifan brought that boy and introduced him to her, she finally couldn't hold it in anymore, and the secret she had hidden for many years was exposed in front of everyone. Everyone was stunned by her actions, but no one looked at her with disgust. They had grown up together since they were young. How could the others not see that Chen Wanwan was different towards Wen Yifan? It's just that the person involved didn't say anything, so they naturally wouldn't expose it. Only the oblivious Wen Yifan, who had eaten and lived with her for so many years, didn't notice a thing. Chen Wanwan used force, then leaned into her ear and said, "So your mouth isn't so tough after all. I wonder if other places are just as soft." Wen Yifan's eyes trembled slightly. Her mind was in chaos. The woman let her go and walked out. A long time later, when Yifan raised a hand to touch her lips, it seems I didn't resist her actions much. This thought was like a bomb, exploding in her heart. She went to the sink and vigorously washed her face, looking at her slightly swollen lips in the mirror. Her heart was filled with indescribable emotions. Chen Wanwan returned to the private room, sat back in her seat, and poured a glass of wine. Everyone knew very well what she had gone to do, but by a tacit understanding, no one said anything. Chen Wanwan glanced at Bai Ningbing, who was looking down at her phone. "Ningbing, you love Lin Feng so much. You've loved him for so many years, getting rejected by him time and time again. Don't you feel bad? Don't you feel that unrequited love is agonizing?" Bai Ningbing put her phone back in her pocket, picked up the wine glass on the table. "So what if I feel bad? That doesn't change the fact that I love him. Unrequited love is better than him avoiding me. Compared to being rejected, not being able to see him is crueler to me. The two looked at each other and raised their glasses together, downing the drink in one go. A moment later, the door was pushed open. When Yifan walked in with a blank expression, she grabbed her jacket from the sofa and said to Wen Xiaoer, "It's late, it'll take you home." "What about you? Aren't you coming back? I still have some things to do. I'll take you home first, otherwise Dad will scold me again." Wen Xiaoer glanced at Chen Wanwan, saw that she had no reaction, so he grabbed his jacket and followed Wen Yifan. At the Lin family home, I was lying in bed after a shower, recalling the events of the past few days. Ding dong! The phone on the table rang. Seeing the contact name Sister Yao Yao, I made a gagging motion. It was so disgusting. My own stupidity really made me want to cry. I tapped on the contact and immediately changed the name to Bitch Su Yao. "Lin Feng, Ye Gi and I are not what you think. We are just normal friends." She was unhappy. I was just comforting her a little. "Don't be so petty. Yiga's your friend too. You don't want him to be upset either, right?" "Lin Feng, I've been hospitalized. Can you come visit me?" "Yesterday, on my way home from work, I ran into a group of men in black. They beat me up without saying a word and said Bai Ningbing told them to teach me a lesson." "Lin Feng, Bai Ningbing clearly knows about our relationship, yet she still sent people to beat me up. Does she still have designs on you? Lin Feng, I miss you so much." Looking at the continuous stream of messages, I rolled my eyes. I muttered to myself, while slowly tapping the phone screen, calling each other so intimately. Do they take me for an idiot? Hospitalized, heh, serves you right. Why didn't Sister Ningbing have her people beat her more severely? She still has the energy to message me. Hey, I replied with a sly smile. "Oh my god, why are you hospitalized? Is it serious?" "It's too late today. Mom won't let me go out. Tomorrow? I'll visit you tomorrow." Was it really Bai Ningbing? How could she do that? I'll go settle the score with her. Suppressing the feeling of nausea, I replied to the message and then threw the phone away. Crossing my arms, I rubbed the goosebumps on my skin and thought for a moment. I picked up my phone again and sent a voice message to Bai Ningbing. "Sister Ningbing, I heard your people beat up Su Yao, is that right?" When Bai Ningbing received the message, she was sitting in the back seat with her eyes closed, preparing to go home, hearing the voice message I sent. My previous voice didn't betray my current emotions. Her heart tightened. A cold aura emanated from her entire body. Qin Wei in the driver's seat could feel the change in his boss's aura. Even though the heater was on in the car, he was still frozen by a chilling blast of air. When Bai Ningbing told Qin Wei to deal with the person, she hadn't thought of hiding it at all, and also told Qin Wei to warn her clearly that Bai Ningbing's man was not someone a useless, illegitimate daughter could touch. If it were any other time, receiving my voice message, she would definitely be very happy. But now she wasn't happy at all. In Bai Ningbing's dark eyes, there was a hard-to-detect trace of hurt. She replied, "I sent the people to do it. She treated you badly, so I had her beaten." Bai Ningbing's fingers trembled slightly as she typed. She was afraid that the hard-won happiness of the past 2 days was about to disappear. Just thinking about it, her heart suddenly ached. Qin Wei looked at the person in the rearview mirror, clenching his fists, a flash of anger on his face. At this moment, I sent another message. "You sneakily taught someone a lesson without telling me. I have to settle the score with you." Hearing my voice message, the corners of Bai Ningbing's eyes turned red. A bitter smile appeared on her lips. She put down her phone and commanded hoarsely, "Qin Wei, go to the Lin family home." Qin Wei said nothing, and quietly drove towards the Lin family villa. The car stopped at the main gate of the Lin family villa. Bai Ningbing looked up at the second floor. Suddenly, the car window was knocked on. Outside the car was Chen Wanwan. "Why are you here?" They had left the Lanye bar at the same time. After Chen Wanwan arrived at the gate, she had been sitting in her car for a long time. Just as she got out of the car to go inside, she saw Bai Ningbing's car parked on the side of the road. The incredibly noble woman in the car now had red-rimmed eyes, her face full of sorrow, losing her previous spirited look. Bai Ningbing said hoarsely, "Lin Feng knows I sent people to deal with Su Yao. He's angry, said he wants to settle scores with me." Chen Wanwan knew about Bai Ningbing taking action. Her father and she had both sent people. It's just that they weren't as fast as Bai Ningbing. Chen Wanwan looked up at the second floor. "Do you want to go up? Or should I go talk to him and ask if he wants to come down to see you?" Bai Ningbing said nothing, just glanced at Chen Wanwan, who immediately understood, gave her a nod, and went inside the house. Knock, knock, knock. A knock came from outside the door. I got up and opened the door to see my second sister standing at the door with her head down. "Second sister, you went drinking as soon as you got back?" I smelled alcohol as soon as I opened the door, and was about to say she went out to have fun without me, but before I could open my mouth, I heard Chen Wanwan's very serious words, "Lin Feng, do you really like Ningbing?" I was a little stunned. My second sister had never asked about the matter between me and Bai Ningbing. "What's with tonight?" I nodded firmly. "Of course, I like her. I just got back and saw Ningbing's car parked downstairs. I asked and found out. She said you knew about the Su Yao incident and that you wanted to settle the score with her." I was about to open my mouth to explain when Chen Wanwan raised her hand to interrupt me. "Lin Feng, Su Yao has never been a good person. Before, Dad and I didn't interfere because she hadn't done anything to harm you. This time you fell into the water. It concerned your safety. Dad and I couldn't just sit by and do nothing. It wasn't just Ningbing who took action against her. Dad and I also sent people. It's just that we weren't as fast as Ningbing. Ningbing's love for you surpasses any of ours. It's fine if you don't like her, but I'm begging you, please don't hurt her anymore. She's waiting for you at the gate. Do you want to go down and see her? Think about it yourself. I looked completely bewildered. My eyes immediately welled up with tears. Chen Wanwan looked at her brother like this, her heart aching. She reached out to hug me. Don't cry. If you don't want to see her, then we won't. I'll go tell her. I pulled my sister's hand back, sniffling. Sister, when I told her I wanted to settle the score with her, that's not what I meant. I just felt that she beat someone up without inviting me, so I was a little unhappy. To teach a bitch like her a lesson, you have to do it yourself to feel satisfied. Hearing her brother's playful words, Chen Wanwan let out a soft laugh. You? Who are you trying to scare to death by speaking in riddles? You're about to scare her to death. She thought you were angry. You have no idea. When I saw how hurt she looked, my heart ached too. That silly girl. Bai Ningbing didn't even ask you why, just stood there being sad all by herself. Sister, I'm going to find her. If I don't come back tonight, please tell Mom and Dad for me. Tell them not to worry. After saying that, I quickly went downstairs in my slippers. Seeing the car parked outside the villa gate, I quickly ran over. The woman in the car, when I came out, had already gotten out. Seeing me come out wearing only a thin shirt, Bai Ningbing immediately took off her coat and wrapped it tightly around me. Looking down, she saw the cotton slippers on my feet, and her frown deepened. She scooped me up into her arms and quickly walked towards the car. She carried me into the car. Kinwei, turn up the heater a bit. Sister Ningbing, I have something to tell you. Let's go to Nan Yuan. Bai Ningbing stared at the boy in her arms for a few seconds. Kinwei, go home. Bai Ningbing held me all the way. She didn't let go at all. I smelled the scent on her, a faint smell of alcohol and pine wood. I was overwhelmingly sleepy. The car stopped in the underground garage of Nan Yuan. I slightly opened my eyes. Are we here? Bai Ningbing said nothing. She opened the car door and carried me into the elevator. She placed me on the sofa on the first floor, changed her shoes, and went into the kitchen. A few minutes later, she brought a glass of warm milk and placed it in front of me. I tugged on her sleeve, signaling for her to sit down. Drink the warm milk first. From now on, wear a jacket when you go out at night. Don't catch a cold. Hearing her words of concern, the emotions I had suppressed the whole way finally broke through. Tears streamed down my face. They fell onto the back of Bai Ningbing's hand. They were clearly just warm teardrops, but Bai Ningbing's heart felt like it was instantly scalded, hurting to the point of suffocation. She raised her hand, wanting to wipe my tears, but her hand stopped by the corner of my eye. Lin Feng, I'm sorry. You don't like me interfering in your business. I won't do it again. Don't be angry. Don't cry anymore. You can hit me, okay? I couldn't hold back anymore and threw myself into her arms. Bai Ningbing, you're such a fool. I'm not angry. When I said I was going to settle scores with you, it was because you dealt with someone without taking me along. They toyed with me, used me. I won't let them off easily. Besides, your people hit him too lightly. He can still text me. Bai Ningbing's heart, which had been hanging by a thread, was finally put at ease by my seemingly complaining words. She took a tissue and gently wiped my handsome little face and said tentatively, Then next time I beat him up, I'll take you with me. We can have a mixed doubles match together. I cupped Bai Ningbing's face and rubbed it punishingly. From now on, if anything happens, just ask me directly. Don't be unhappy by yourself. If Big Sister hadn't told me, I wouldn't have even known you misunderstood. After speaking, I even gave her a cute, fierce glare. Did you hear me? You silly Ningbing. Bai Ningbing was amused by my little expression, the adoration in her eyes impossible to hide. She lowered her head and looked at my plump red lips, then bent down and kissed them. But it was just a fleeting kiss. I wrapped my arms around her neck and kissed her again. I had no experience, so I just bit haphazardly. Bai Ningbing was teased by me to the point that a fire ignited within her. Gradually, she wasn't satisfied with this, and was no longer as gentle as before. Slowly, the buttons came undone. Bai Ningbing's voice was hoarse. Lin Feng, don't move around. My face was flushed, and I poked her shoulder with my finger. It's uncomfortable, get off. The moment these words were spoken, Bai Ningbing's entire body went completely stiff. She carefully placed me on the bed, kissed the corners of my lips and eyes, then stood up and backed away. I grabbed her sleeve. My beautiful almond eyes shimmered with shyness, driving Bai Ningbing nearly insane. Good boy, Lin Feng. You go to sleep first. I'm going to take a shower. I looked down at myself and bit my lip. Are my 8-pack abs not seductive enough? I started imagining all sorts of things. I tossed and turned, not feeling sleepy at all. Half an hour later, the sound of water from the bathroom stopped. The door opened. I stared at the person who had just walked out. Her hair was still dripping. Looking at her perfect body, which was like a work of art, I swallowed. Are you satisfied? Satisfied. Coming back to my senses, I realized what I had just answered. Immediately embarrassed, I pulled the blanket over my head. Her crisp laughter echoed from above my head. Don't suffocate yourself. Come out quickly. I won't tease you anymore. Seeing that I didn't move, she patted the blanket. I'm going to change. Come out quickly. Don't really suffocate yourself later. Hearing her footsteps leave, I let go of the blanket. My eyes sparkled, remembering her figure, and I stared blankly like an idiot. After Bai Ningbing finished changing, dried her hair and came out, she saw I was still dazed. She walked over and pinched my cheek. Go to sleep. Seeing she had no intention of getting into bed, I asked, what about you? Aren't you going to sleep? After you fall asleep, I'll go sleep in the next room. Bai Ningbing sat by the bed and tucked me in. I scooted over to one side. I don't want to sleep alone. Come up here with me. I can't sleep by myself. Looking at my helpless expression, she chuckled softly. She lifted the blanket and lay down. Then she patted my head. Is this okay now? Go to sleep. I had no intention of letting her go. I wrapped my arms around her waist, nuzzled my head into her chest, smiled at the corners of my mouth, and closed my eyes. The woman was rendered helpless by my series of actions. Showering was pointless. Looking at the carefree Lan Feng sleeping soundly in her arms, she instantly felt incredibly satisfied. She held the person in her arms tightly and then closed her eyes. After Wen Yifen took Wen Xiaower home, she drove to her own home at Imperial View International. This is a property of the Bay Corporation. The entire apartment complex has only 10 buildings. The top floor of each building is a 2-story duplex. When this place first went on sale, Bai Ningbing had reserved all the top floors for her people. Each of them has one. It's just that the others all have other places to live and rarely come here. Only Wen Yifen liked to stand here, watching the bustling night traffic of the entire capital city. She went to the wine cabinet and casually picked a bottle of wine, took a glass and walked to the floor-to-ceiling window, looking out. Remembering tonight's kiss, she felt even more frustrated. She knew that even if she didn't admit it on the surface, she couldn't change what was in her heart. She drank one glass after another. The more she wanted to get drunk, the more sober she became. The warm morning sunlight shone on the large bed. The woman slowly opened her eyes, looking at the handsome boy in her arms. The corners of her mouth curved up. She placed a kiss on my forehead. No matter how late she slept every day, whether she had to go to work or not, Bai Ningbing's biological clock was always this punctual. Remembering what happened yesterday, she felt very content now, and also very happy. She got up carefully, afraid of waking the person on the bed. She went to the next room to freshen up, then went downstairs to make breakfast. While making breakfast, Bai Ningbing contacted someone to bring my clothes over. Returning to the room, she saw the person on the bed was still sound asleep. She leaned down and kissed my earlobe. Lin Feng, time to wake up for breakfast. I wasn't fully awake, and I get very grumpy when I wake up. My small hand swung out. Go away, don't be noisy. I still want to sleep. Bai Ningbing reacted quickly, grabbing the small hand that was attacking her, and with an adoring look, kissed it. Be good. Get up and eat breakfast, then you can sleep more. Unable to bear being disturbed, I slowly opened my eyes. Facing her eyes full of adoration, I held out my hand, sister. A kiss. Towards my clinginess, the woman naturally accepted it all. She wished I would rely on her anytime, anywhere. Go freshen up first. I've made delicious food for you. You can sleep more after you eat. Arriving at the dining room, I sat down and started eating. My small mouth was stuffed full. She stood beside me, laughing and wiping my mouth. Eat slowly, be careful not to choke. Sister Ningbing, your cooking is so delicious. What if my mouth becomes picky? Then I'll cook for you from now on. But we don't live together, I can eat it every day. I blinked my big, beautiful eyes at her, a mischievous smile flashing in my eyes. The woman was immersed in my words, not noticing the emotion in my eyes. Lin Feng, when we get married in the future, we can be together every day, right? Bai Ningbing didn't hide her feelings for me at all. Her intention to marry me had always been there. Are you considering this a proposal? That's too casual. I lowered my head and ate, suppressing the smile on my lips. As smart as Bai Ningbing was, how could she not understand the meaning behind my words? She didn't answer. She just kept putting breakfast from the table onto my plate, occasionally taking a couple of bites herself. After the meal, I lazily leaned back on the sofa, rubbing my small belly, and looked at the small group chat on my phone with Zhang Hao and Wen Xiaower. Wen Xiaower was gossiping about what happened between his sister and my big sister last night. Last night, I saw my sister's mouth was all swollen. It was hilarious. Sister Wanwan is so cool. She really needed to be taught a lesson. I looked at Wen Xiaower's message and burst out laughing. You really are your sister's biological brother. Aren't you afraid she'll hit you? Her? Hit me? Would she dare? You'll go find your big sister. Zhang Hao rarely spoke in the group, the type to startle people as soon as he spoke. Sister Wanwan will definitely side with your sister Fan. Zhang Hao, you. Aren't you afraid of their mixed doubles? After Bai Ningbing cleared the table, she looked at the boy on the sofa, sat down next to me, and lazily leaned back. What are you looking at? You're laughing so happily. Sister Ningbing, what did my big sister do to Wen Yifen last night? Seeing my gossipy expression, she leaned in and whispered in my ear, counting what happened last night. Her warm breath tickled my ear, and I tilted my head to kiss her on the lips. The tense nerve in Bai Ningbing's mind tightened even more. If he continued like this, she was about to lose control. Lin Feng, has anyone ever told you that you can't just casually tease a woman, especially one who loves you? She stood up, her eyes darkening, not daring to stay any longer. Her voice was raspy. I'm going to the study to handle some work. Aren't you sleepy? Go upstairs and sleep a bit more. I'll take you out for lunch. After speaking, she fled towards the upstairs study. I couldn't help but laugh. Sister Ningbing got shy. Ha ha ha. Hearing the laughter from downstairs, the woman shook her head helplessly. Elsewhere, Chen Wanwan sat in her office, remembering what happened last night. She was just like Bai Ningbing. Both were workaholics. It's just that Bai Ningbing was luckier than her right now. Her younger brother's eyes were back to normal, and he had set his sights on Ningbing. What do I have to do for you to give me a look? On the other side, the phone rang again and again. Wen Yifan rubbed her forehead, took the phone from the nightstand, and answered without looking. Why did you take so long to answer? Wen Xiaoer's dissatisfied voice came through. Hearing no response from the other end, you're not still sleeping, are you? Didn't you go home after dropping me off last night? I went home, had a few drinks, slept late. What's up? After the hangover, her head ached a little, and her voice was hoarse. Lin Feng said Sister Ningbing wants to take him to Guiyun Villa and asked if we wanted to go along. Guiyun Villa is a new hot spring resort developed by the Bai Corporation, located in the suburbs, currently in its trial operation phase. The weather has just turned chilly, so she thought of taking Lin Feng out to have fun. Got it, I'll pick you up later. Wen Yifan hung up the phone and lay on the bed, zoning out for a while. Soon, another message came in. She picked up her phone and opened it. The Lin Feng Pursuit Plan Group. They initially created this group for Bai Ningbing. Later on, if anything happened, they would notify me in there. Taking Lin Feng to Guiyun Villa, later to have fun. Are you guys coming? Of course, I'm free anyway. Chen Wanwan stood before the floor-to-ceiling window, sucking on a lollipop. Hearing the phone behind her ringing non-stop, she originally wasn't in the mood to go. But when she saw the person she was longing for appear, the corners of her mouth lifted into a meaningful smile. The prey has appeared. See you later. Wen Yifan looked at her phone and suddenly felt a little expectant. She stood up and walked towards the bathroom. After freshening up, she went to the Wen family home to pick up Wen Xiaoer. By the time they arrived at Guiyun Villa, the others were already there. Lin Feng, Zhang Hao, and Wen Xiaoer ran over as soon as they saw us. When I saw Wen Xiaoer, I let go of Bai Ningbing's hand. Today, Wen Yifan said very little, lacking her usual playful demeanor. Seeing Bai Ningbing coldly staring at her brother, Wen Yifan laughed. My brother is a boy. You're jealous of this too? Bai Ningbing shot her a sharp glare. Lin Feng, let's go. The group walked towards the main hall, talking and laughing. The person in charge was already waiting with the room cards. CO Bai, the rooms have been prepared for everyone. Please enjoy your stay. The hotel had reserved the entire top floor for us. It's currently the trial operation phase, so the top floor isn't open to outside guests. Bai Ningbing has her own private room here. Lin Feng, are you staying alone or with me? When Wen Xiaoer heard this, he immediately cut in. Sister Ningbing, Lin Feng is staying with me and Zhang Hao. My face was a little red, counting my previous life. I felt like it had been a very long time since I'd seen Wen Xiaoer and Zhang Hao. I really wanted to stay with them. I had so much I wanted to tell them. Seeing me looking at her with a sincere expression, Bai Ningbing's dark eyes filled with helplessness. She gave Wen Xiaoer a cold glare. Clearly, Wen Xiaoer wasn't afraid of her. Sister Ningbing glaring at me is useless. After speaking, he even made a funny face, snatched a room card from Chen Wanwan's hand, and ran off, dragging one person with each hand. Bai Ningbing tilted her head to look at Wen Yifan, who was enjoying the show from the side. Your brother is so arrogant and you're not going to control him? Wen Yifan pointed at herself. Me? Control him? Are you sick? Even the old man in my family can't control him. Do you think I have that ability? She took a room card, opened the door, and went in. I'm going to catch up on sleep. Call me when it's time to eat. After Wen Xiaoer pulled the two of us into the room, he glanced at Zhang Hao. They had a silent understanding, one on the left and one on the right. They pinned me to the bed. Confess honestly. How far have you and Bai Ningbing progressed? She even asked if you wanted to stay with her. Zhang Hao also looked at me curiously. I had no intention of hiding it from them, so I told them what happened these past 2 days. Zhang Hao, Xiaoer, I only know now that Ningbing really loves me. I was really so stupid. She's so good, and I treated her so horribly. Now I just want to make up for my mistakes and love her properly. Wen Xiaoer gently comforted me, but this kind of mushy stuff was hard for Wen Xiaoer to maintain for long. After a little while, he revealed a mischievous smile. Lin Feng, how is Sister Ningbing's figure? Is it good? I was stunned. My face flushed as I looked at my two good brothers. I really didn't expect them to be so blunt. Zhang Hao also moved closer to me. Lin Feng? I'm also very curious. Blushing, I told them how yesterday we almost had relations. Remembering how we had to stop midway yesterday, I pouted and asked Zhang Hao, are my 8-pack abs not attractive? We got to that point and she still didn't touch me. Wen Xiaoer looked at lovesick me with a helpless expression. Lin Feng, Sister Ningbing is protecting you. Before you two confirm your relationship, she won't cross the line. In the eyes of outsiders, Sister Ningbing is ruthless and cruel, but here with us, she's everyone's pillar of support. And as for you, to her, you are an existence more important than her own life. Wen Xiaoer has an open personality and he sees many things very clearly. Before, because he couldn't bear to see Bai Ningbing suffer, he had also gotten angry with me. He told me time and time again, Su Yao and Brother Yi are not good people. Those kinds of people aren't worthy of you treating them well. It was me who was stubborn, thinking Wen Xiaoer was defending Bai Ningbing, and in my eyes and heart, I was very biased against Bai Ningbing's feelings. The three of them talked for a very, very long time. Sleepiness washed over us, and we fell asleep in each other's arms. The doorbell rang. Zhang Hao was the first to crawl up and squinted as he opened the door. He looked at the person outside and rubbed his eyes. Sister. Zhang Xiaoyu rubbed his younger brother Zhang Hao's cheek. Are Xiaoer and Lin Feng not awake yet? Hurry up and get ready, and come downstairs to eat. The villa's hot springs are divided into two areas. One is the multi-pool hot spring area, and the other is a private courtyard area. Bai Ningbing had someone arrange a barbecue in the courtyard. They are preparing the ingredients now. They arrived at the courtyard. Wen Xiaoer saw Zhang Xiaoyu and Wen Yifan preparing the barbecue, and his mouth started to water. Wow, it smells so good. Lin Feng, hurry up! With that, he pulled Zhang Hao and ran over. Smack you! Why did you hit me? Seeing the small hand reaching out, Wen Yifan slapped it without hesitation. Did you wash your hands before touching it? Go wash them. Zhang Hao pulled Wen Xiaoer into the kitchen. Chicken wings, beef, I want this and this too. Sister Wen Yifan, it would be a waste if you didn't open a barbecue shop. It's so delicious. Wen Yifan laughed. Well, you should consider who your sister is. Beautiful and rich, and my skills aren't bad either. Oh, right. Zhang Hao, you don't have a girlfriend yet, right? What do you think of me? Zhang Hao is thin-skinned, so Wen Yifan also likes to tease him. But everyone knows Zhang Hao is like a real younger brother to all of them. Hearing Wen Yifan tease his younger brother, Zhang Xiaoyu sent a kick her way. You dare touch my brother? I'll beat you to death. No one took Wen Yifan's teasing to heart, but one person's expression darkened. Chen Wanwan picked up a beer bottle beside her and chugged it. Whether the speaker meant it or not, she didn't know. But he found it very jarring to hear. Wen Xiaoer is simple-minded, but that doesn't mean he's not perceptive. He looked towards Chen Wanwan. Barbecue and beer are a match made in heaven, Sister Wanwan. Why are you drinking alone? Come over and drink with us. I want to drink too. Wen Yifan reached out a hand and flicked him on the forehead. You're just a kid. What are you drinking for? Go inside and get some juice. What are you doing? I'm 22 years old. I'm not a kid anymore. Besides, eating barbecue without beer loses its soul. Chen Wanwan seemed determined to go against Wen Yifan. She brought over a basket of beer and sat down next to Wen Xiaoer. She opened a bottle and handed it to him. Drink up. This is your sister Ningbing's territory. Drink without worry. If you get drunk, you can sleep right here in the yard. Wen Xiaoer took the beer bottle and clinked bottles with Chen Wanwan, taking a gulp. So refreshing. Sister Wanwan is still the best. Not like my sister. She's nothing like a real sister at all. I need to ask Dad someday. If she was picked up from somewhere, Zhang Xiaoyu teased unkindly. Then you really should ask Uncle Zhang. She has seemed unrelated to you all since she was a child. After saying that, he took a bottle of beer and handed it to Bai Ningbing. His sleeve was suddenly tugged. Sister, I want to drink too. Can you get me a bottle? Zhang Hao's alcohol tolerance is very average, plus, he's usually very well behaved. He rarely drinks. With such delicious food today, he also wanted to satisfy his craving. Bai Ningbing looked down at the young man beside her and met my wide, expectant eyes. She got up and fetched 2 glass cups, poured 2 small glasses, and gave one to me and one to Zhang Hao. I happily accepted it. But this thing about drinking, once you start, you can't stop. In the end, the 3 of us men all got drunk. Once you're drunk, you get a lot bolder. Sister Wanwan, my sister is blind. She doesn't appreciate you. Why don't you consider someone else? I know a lot of beautiful girls. I'll introduce you to some of them one day. How smart was Chen Wanwan? How could she not understand the meaning behind these words? Actually, she also wanted to know if she were to like someone else, how Wen Yifan would react, or perhaps she also wanted to know if she could like someone other than Wen Yifan. She let out a soft laugh. Then introduce me to a few when you have the chance. Wen Xiaoer manages an entertainment company. Under the Wen family, he really knows a lot of beauties. Everyone was caught up in Wen Xiaoer's joke. Not seeing the vicious glint that flashed in Wen Yifan's eyes, she suddenly chugged her beer. Her hand tightened with force. The beer can in her hand was crushed. Only Bai Ningbing saw this scene. When Yifan looked up at her, seeing the meaningful smile in Bai Ningbing's eyes, she immediately turned her head away and didn't look at her anymore. Bai Ningbing averted her gaze and turned to coax me softly. Feeling better? Let me take you to bed. Otherwise, you'll have a headache when you wake up tomorrow. Sister Ningbing, hold me. I acted cute with her. Bai Ningbing had never been able to resist me. I'll take him back first. You all should get some rest too. Zhang Xiaoyu also helped his already asleep brother up and left with Bai Ningbing. Looking at the people left in the yard, when Yifan pinched Wen Xiaoer's cheek. You're drunk. Go to sleep. It's cold. Suddenly, a small hand locked around her throat. I'm not going. I'm sleeping here tonight. Wen Xiaoer locked onto her and wouldn't let go. Don't be fooled by how skinny he is. Every time he drinks, it can activate the primal strength in his body. When Yifan couldn't break free for a moment, if she used force, she was afraid of hurting him. Let go, or ill hit you. You go home. I'm sleeping here tonight. Sister Wanwan is here. It's very safe, right, Sister Wanwan? Chen Wanwan looked at the siblings across from her, took a big swig of alcohol, and said nothing. When Yifan carried him into the room, she put Wen Xiaoer on the bed. Her brother's alcohol tolerance. How could she not know? Let go. I know you're not drunk. Who says? I am drunk. Wen Xiaoer squinted his eyes. With a drunken smile, he looked at his difficult older sister. I'm really going to introduce a girlfriend to Sister Wanwan? You don't mind, do you? What is there for me to mind? It's her freedom to like whomever she wants. Wen Xiaoer let go of her neck. Keep being stubborn. Wait until her heart really isn't with you anymore. Even if you come crying to me, I won't care. Sister Wanwan is very good among our families. No one is prejudiced. With the power of our families, outsiders wouldn't dare to gossip. As long as you two can be happy, that's enough. Seeing that Wen Yifan said nothing, he continued, people say Sister Ningbing is stupid for making herself so pathetic for Lin Feng. But what about Sister Wanwan? Isn't her love also unrequited? You can feel sorry for Sister Ningbing. Why can't you feel sorry for her? I'm being serious. If you really don't have any feelings for Sister Wanwan, I'll introduce a few more people to her. I can't bear to see her sad anyway. If it weren't for her not liking me, I would have long. When Yifan saw her brother getting more and more out of line, and pushed him into the blanket. All right, you're my ancestor. Stop meddling in my business. Hurry up and sleep. Boys who stay up late get pimples. After speaking, she turned off the light for him and went out. At this time, the yard was empty. When Yifan thought about what Wen Xiaoer had just said to her, her mind was a bit of a mess, so she started cleaning up the mess on the ground. After she finished cleaning and washing her hands, she looked up at the antique clock on the wall. It was already past 1 a.m. The hot spring in the yard was originally for couples, young married couples, families of 3, and these types of tourists, so each unit only had 2 rooms. She walked towards the remaining room with her head down, pushing the door open. In the dark room, the woman's shadow cast by the moonlight was very long. The lollipop held in her hand seemed especially bright in the dark night. When Yifan was a little surprised, she had seen no one outside, and thought that Chen Wanwan had already left. She didn't expect her to be here. Now she couldn't enter, but she could not enter either. She had never felt that being alone with Chen Wanwan in the same room could be such an awkward thing. She coughed lightly. If you want to stay here, then I'll leave first. Xiaoer is already asleep. After speaking, she turned to leave, and she heard the woman's deep, hoarse voice from behind. What's wrong? You don't even want to be alone with me now? Do you hate me that much? At this moment, Chen Wanwan looked very lonely. Someone who didn't know her couldn't possibly tell that this was the CEO supporting the entire Chen group, the second young lady of the Chen family. When Yifan frowned tightly, in her slightly drunk eyes, there was a flash that she herself didn't recognize as heartache. She stood at the door for a long time. Just as she was about to close the door, she was suddenly pulled inside. The door was slammed shut. Chen Wanwan pinned her against the door, one hand gripping the woman's shoulder tightly. Her bloodshot eyes stared at her. I asked you, why didn't you answer? Do you hate me that much? You don't want to see me for even a moment? After saying that, she lowered her voice. I have never hidden my feelings, except for yesterday. For so many years, I have never met Yifan. I am human. I get tired too. I love you very much. I don't even know why I love you so much, but I just do. It's fine if you don't love me. I won't force you. I originally thought I could control myself. That just being your best friend would be enough, I asked Ningbing, loving Lin Feng without it being returned. Isn't it tiring? Isn't it painful? She told me she was more afraid of losing Lin Feng. After speaking, Chen Wanwan let go of Wen Yifan. Your brother said something very true. I'm not that bad. In the capital, the girls who want to marry me, if not 1,000, then at least 800. Maybe I should forget you, marry a girl my parents like, and live a life of mutual respect like honored guests. Go home. You don't want to see me? I will try not to appear before you in the future. Even if we do meet, well, just be best friends. At this moment, when Yifan's heart seemed to be stirred by something, it hurt a little. It's not that she didn't feel anything last night. It's just that she didn't know how to face it. Perhaps it was because she was a coward. She didn't dare to face it. She knew if Chen Wanwan left now, then there would definitely be no future. Just as she said, meeting again would only be as best friends, to watch her marry a woman she doesn't love. When Yifan didn't dare to think any further, she walked towards the woman. I'm not as heartless as you say. I just don't know how to face this. I thought a lot after I went back last night. At first, I was even scared by my own thoughts. After drinking for a while, the scene in the bathroom yesterday kept replaying in my mind. Chen Wanwan stood by the window with her back to her. When Yifan couldn't see now what kind of expression she had, she only knew that if she didn't make things clear today, there might really be no more chances in the future. Xiaoer said he wanted to introduce women to you, and you even agreed. To be honest, I felt a little uncomfortable. Maybe I can also feel what you felt in your heart after I rejected you. Very surprising, isn't it? I didn't expect it either. Wanwan, for so many years, It's not that I didn't understand your feelings. It's just that I've always been running away. I thought I could never like women, but I've also never met a man who moved my heart. But after yesterday, I discovered that maybe I... Before she could finish her sentence, she was pushed straight down onto the large bed behind her. Chen Wanwan had been holding back until now, but when she heard Wen Yifan speak her heart, the string in her heart completely snapped. She couldn't hold back anymore, and she didn't want to hold back anymore. Wen Yifan, you want to escape in this lifetime? You can hate me, you can despise me. I'll accept it all. After speaking, she leaned down, carrying the scent of alcohol, carrying love. Wen Yifan clumsily responded. Receiving a response, Chen Wanwan completely unleashed all the greed in her heart. It was as if she wanted to make up for all the shortcomings of the past 10+ years. The room was so quiet you could hear the two of them panting. The cold of the night did not affect the passionate pair. When Yifan was tormented to the point of nearly losing her mind, her voice was hoarse in her throat. Tonight was destined to not be very comfortable. Until the break of dawn did the two fall asleep. On the other side, Bai Ningbing placed me on the large bed, then went to the bathroom to get a hot towel and wiped the face and neck of my sleeping self. Finally, she kissed my lips and got up to go wash up in the bathroom. 20 minutes later, she came out covered in steam. She sat by the bed and touched my face, staring at me for a long time before going to the wardrobe to get a bathrobe to put on. She lit a lollipop and went out to the balcony to feel the cold night wind. In Bai Ningbing's mind, it kept replaying. The events of the past 2 days, my sudden change? Was it because I really liked her, or because I wanted to take revenge on others? She always felt I was hiding something from her, but I didn't say, so she wouldn't ask either. As long as I was okay, that was enough. Thinking about how I told her I wanted to live with her, she felt that some things should be put on the schedule. Bai Ningbing took her phone and sent a message, then returned to the bed, reached out and hugged me, holding me in her arms. A good night's sleep. The morning air in the suburbs was especially fresh. Zhang Hao went to sleep early last night. He only woke up at 8:30, remembering they said they would go to the hot springs today. He got up to wash his face and started looking for swim trunks to wear today. Ding, ding, ding. The phone rang. He picked up his phone and saw the name of the message sender. He was a little surprised. It was from Sister Ruhua. Zhang Hao. Sorry, I've been very busy recently. Just got back from a mission. Didn't have time to reply to your message. Lin Ruhua is my eldest sister, the eldest young lady of the Lin family, and also the only female major general of the entire Long Kingdom Special Forces. Zhang Hao had liked Lin Ruhua since he was a child. Both of them knew, but neither had said it. Zhang Hao always thought it was because he was too young, so since he was young, he wished he could grow up quickly. But after he grew up, Lin Ruhua joined the army. It had been 12 years now. Lin Ruhua had become the youngest female major general in the entire Long Kingdom. He was even less worthy of her. Zhang Hao replied, "It's okay, as long as you're safe. This mission is over. The team has given me leave. I'll be back soon." "She's coming back?" Zhang Hao's calm heart rippled, filled with joy and anticipation, but in that moment, a look of melancholy appeared on his face. "So what if she's back?" "I'm not worthy of her." Lin Ruhua on the other end didn't get a reply, her brows furrowed tightly. She made a phone call. Zhang Xiaoyu, half asleep, heard his phone ring, reached out and fumbled for his phone, and answered the call. "Hello, it's me? Still not awake?" Hearing the familiar voice he hadn't heard in a long time, Zhang Xiaoyu thought he was dreaming. After looking at the screen, his sleepiness instantly vanished. He was filled with disbelief. "Sister Ruhua, how do you have time to call me? I heard you were on a mission recently. You're not hurt, are you?" The person on the other end of the line laughed. "The mission is over. I'm fine, Zhang Xiaoyu. Is Zhang Hao home?" "I sent him a message," he replied once and then stopped. Zhang Xiaoyu knew about Lin Ruhua's feelings for Zhang Hao, and he also knew his own brother's heart, but Lin Ruhua had her mission, and Zhang Hao never brought it up, so he didn't meddle in other people's affairs. "We came to the Bai family's Guiyun villa for a vacation. Zhang Hao is in his room. Sister Ruhua, do you need him for something? Or I can go get him." Lin Ruhua rarely took the initiative to contact and ask about Zhang Hao. "It's nothing, I was just asking. You all have fun." After speaking, she hung up the phone. "Over here." Zhang Hao looked at the time and called Wen Xiaoer. "Xiaoer, are you really not coming back? Let's go to the hot springs later. I heard there's a pool full of roses." When Xiaoer's interest was piqued upon hearing this, he immediately got up and went to the bathroom to wash his face. "Then wait for me in your room. I'll come find you in a bit." He left his room, preparing to go downstairs, and happened to see Chen Wanwan coming from another room. "Wow, Sister Wanwan, you didn't go home last night?" Wen Xiaoer thought Wen Yifan was here and that she had left last night. Unexpectedly, when Chen Wanwan got closer to him, he saw a slightly red mark on Chen Wanwan's neck. Wen Xiaoer's eyes immediately widened. A cunning smile appeared on his face. He glanced into the room. "Where's my sister?" "She didn't leave either. She's still sleeping. Are you going out?" Chen Wanwan ruffled Wen Xiaoer's hair. The corners of her mouth curved up uncontrollably. With just this smile, if Wen Xiaoer still didn't understand, then he'd truly be an idiot. "Zhang Hao called me to go to the Rose Hot Springs. Sister Wanwan, congratulations. You got your wish." "Thanks, Xiaoer." Next time Chen Jewelry releases a new product, I'll have someone reserve the limited edition for you. When Xiaoer was even happier. Not only did he get a dose of public affection first thing in the morning from the couple of his silly sister and sister Wanwan, but he also got a limited edition from the Chen family dropped into his lap. Thank you, Sister Wanwan. It'll be going now. You two come find us to hang out later. Chen Wanwan went downstairs and looked at the neatly cleaned garden. She made a phone call and asked the hotel to bring 2 sets of clothes. Then she went back to the room to shower again. After showering, the bruise on her neck was even more obvious. She directly pressed down on the person in the blanket, her lips close to her ear. She spoke in a hoarse voice. Yifan, honey, time to wake up. All of when Yifan's senses were jolted, she suddenly opened her eyes. What are you doing so early in the morning? Seeing Wen Yifan's instantly terrified look, Chen Wanwan burst out laughing. She wasn't planning on doing anything to her. It seemed she had bullied her a bit too much last night. This laughter sounded like mockery to Wen Yifan's ears. Her damn competitive spirit flared up. What are you laughing at? You've had your fun, and now you're mocking me. Who was it that put me in this state? If you let me be on top, the one lying here would be you, Chen Wanwan wanted to tease her. I wonder who had such a big reaction last night. I don't mind letting you be on top. How about right now? Wen Yifan shuddered. Her hackles were immediately raised. Are you even human? I'm already like this and you still want more? Do you want me to die? Chen Wanwan wasn't angry either. I won't tease you anymore. Get up quickly. Xiaoer went to the hot springs. I'm afraid if you don't go, they'll come to watch you sleep. Don't say it. This is really something Wen Xiaoer would do. When Yifan's eyes widened. You told him? Do you have any shame? You tell everyone everything. He's your biological brother? He'd find out sooner or later. I saw him going out this morning when I went to get clothes. How cunning and mischievous your brother is, don't you know? I didn't say anything. He guessed it himself. After changing, Chen Wanwan returned to the bedside and pressed down hard on someone's shoulder. Am I that shameful? When Yifan pushed him away in annoyance. I just don't know how to tell them. Just go over there first. I'll come over after I take a shower. In the private suite, Bai Ningbing had woken up early due to her biological clock. She looked down at me sleeping soundly in her arms and couldn't help but want to hold me and sleep a little longer. I was held so tightly I couldn't move. I kept squirming in her arms. The woman patted my back lightly and said in a hoarse voice, Be good, Linfeng. Stop messing around. Sleep a little longer. If you move again, I won't be polite. I wanted to say something else, but a passionate kiss came crashing down. A long while later, her unbelievably hoarse voice was close to my ear. Linfeng, I love you. Bai Ningbing was terrified of hurting me. She tried to suppress her discomfort. Sweat from her forehead dripped onto my flushed face. Just because I haven't experienced this before doesn't mean I don't understand anything at all. I know she's enduring a lot right now, but I'm willing. An hour later, the satisfied woman kissed my cheek. In her clear black eyes, there was only my reflection and the adoration she had for me. No one knew how happy she was right now. Linfeng, sleep a little longer. I'm going to take a shower. We'll go eat together later. In the evening, I'll take you to the hot springs. Bai Ningbing came out after her shower and noticed the phone on the table kept lighting up. There were several missed calls on it. She picked it up and went out to the balcony. Got it, it'll be down in a bit. You guys go ahead and eat first. Is my baby awake? Everyone's waiting for you to eat? It's a seafood buffet, you know? Hearing there was good food, I immediately opened my eyes. Looking at the woman whose eyes were filled with a smile, my mood suddenly became very good too. I got up and went to the bathroom to freshen up, looking at my own impressive 8-pack abs, and also all the hickeys. My face immediately turned bright red. How am I supposed to go to the hot springs like this? How can I let people see me like this? On the other side, besides Wen Yifan, Bai Ningbing, and me, the other 3 had already started having lunch at the restaurant. Zhang Xiaoyu was peeling shrimp for his younger brother, glancing at Chen Wanwan, who was eating elegantly, wondering where the other person was. Are you the only one who came? Just as Wen Yifan was mentioned, Wen Xiaoer immediately brightened up. My sister? She's still sleeping? Probably can't get up? Ha ha ha. Chen Wanwan put some food on Wen Xiaoer's plate. If you say that about her in front of her, she'll definitely give me trouble. Don't get me in trouble, okay? Hearing these words, Zhang Xiaoyu raised an eyebrow. So you succeeded? Chen Wanwan didn't say anything, but her smile said it all. It had to be you. All these years of patience finally paid off. Congratulations, Sister Wanwan.